Access 2016, Modules 2, Part 2. We're going to look in this segment at making changes to the properties of an existing table, and we want to do that in Design View. So let's get started. Alright, so we should be in the River View database. We should have already created our visit table and have data populated in it from Module 1. And in the last segment, we created the design of our billing table, but we have not brought any data into that yet. So there's two ways that we can get to our design view of an existing table. I'm going to show you both of them, and you can use either one you like. If you double click on a table, it's going to automatically open in Datasheet View to allow you to see both the fields and the data. But if you want to make changes in Design View, you can use this View button, choose the drop-down arrow, and it'll allow you to switch to Design View. The other way you can get it into Design View is you can open it there automatically. If you right-click on the object, you can choose Design View, and it will automatically open into the Design View for that table. So let's take a look at making some of our changes. So the first thing we're going to look at is our visit ID. You'll notice the key is here. That indicates, again, that that is the primary key. So we're going to come over here and we're going to put a description in that of primary key. Then we're going to go down to the field size, and we're going to shorten that to 4. And then we want to add our caption of visit ID. Next, we are going to go to the animal ID, and we're going to call that our foreign key. We want to change the field size to 5, and then we are going to add the caption, which adds the space. Next, we'll choose our visit date field. And we're going to add a caption to that. You don't always just have to type with a space. So if I wanted it to read date of visit, I can type that in as my caption. Then we're going to come down to the reason field, and we're going to change the size of that to 60. And under caption, we want it to read reason/diagnosis. Then we're going to go to our last field, which is offsite, and we're going to enter a caption that reads off-site space visit ? And let's go ahead and save our changes. It's telling us some data may be lost, and the reason for that is because our short text fields used to be 255 characters. We have data already entered into those fields. And so if I shortened it, let's say I shortened the visit ID to 3, and it needs to be 4. When I click yes here, it's going to take the first 3 characters and save those, and that last digit, that 4th one, would be lost. Okay, so as long as you know that you have the correct links in there and that none of your data is longer than the links that you specified, you would not lose any data. So we're going to go ahead and say yes. And then let's take a look at our datasheet view. And you'll notice now that our captions are what are displayed, not the field names. Now this does lead to something that you need to be conscious of when you're working on your homework. If it says the field visit ID does not exist in the visit table, you can't tell by opening it into datasheet view if it exists or not. Even though it is spelled correctly here, then you can go to design view. You have to look at the field name. You could have a typing error up here that would cause that error message. So if you get any messages that say the field does not exist, make sure you look in design view if you have captions in place. Another thing to be aware of is if you have a field name such as address. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to just add this. I'll delete it in a minute. If I add address and I say it's short text, and then I come down here and said, okay, that we're going to use 50 characters for that. I don't really need a caption, because if I'm going to type the exact same text for the caption as I already have for the field name, you do not need to type a caption. Okay, so be aware of that. You may not need the caption there. I'm going to delete that. Okay, let's save our changes to the table. And again, if we switch to datasheet view, you now see all of your captions are available. And that concludes this segment of Module 2. The next few videos are going to look at the various ways that we can import data in to save time.